Everybody, welcome back to the stream as we are going to have the losers quarterfinals kicking off as we have a new caster among us as Zappio. He unfortunately had to go, but we have Kamika coming on in with the replacement. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. It's always a great day when you get to cast some Call of Duty on LAN, my friend. And what better match to be starting off with than Cerberus versus Providence? I got a lot of recognition for some of these players in the roster. Some of them have been casting since Modern Warfare 2019. So, I'm super hyped for this.
Hey, and you love to get a little bit of backstory, right? You and I were talking right before this kicked on off. Cerberus, you've had the pleasure of casting these guys, and unfortunately, one strong mode that you said they were was search and destroy, but they just haven't been able to recreate that success so far in this tournament because they're currently sitting at 1-4 on Championship Sunday.
Yeah, I know. When you told me that they're 1-4 in Search and Destroy, I was a little bit shocked because I have strong memories of Ethan Too Nice being amazing with the sniper rifle, and Chris Radial. He's just always had a really strong position in my mind as well, especially from his gameplay in the original Modern Warfare. I get that's a long time ago, but still, impressions do last a very long time in my mind because I have a memory of an elephant here. But yeah, getting in here to the maps, we're going to be seeing Cerberus picking Hotel, not too surprising. Then going over to Embassy, Providence picked that one, which is interesting considering the sniper dynamic on that map. And then El Asilo, if we do so need it, we've got Embassy and El Asilo again in that order.
And just kind of looking at this map pick, it's going to be interesting for the side of Cerberus. Like you said, it's going to be a sniper pick for the side of Providence. And they were the first team that we casted for today. And they went 3-0 down to Chaos, but it wasn't bad by any means. So seeing them in the losers bracket, they went 3-0 against Gob, GG, and then a 3-2 against Team Acrylic. Cerberus, they've also had some map 5 coming on in here for Sunday. So this one could really be a toss-up.
Yeah, and not to say that Providence doesn't have a good sniper as well. Crazy Views can do nasty stuff with that as well. He's a great AR. Respi, as I'm sure you'll see soon, is amazing with the sub. Not so much in that scenario, but you'll see what I mean as soon as the game starts going.
Absolutely, and Pures, this guy has been lighting up the kill feed and lighting up everybody's hearts as well because he has truly been a spectacle to watch here on Championship Sunday as he currently starts it off on 2-1, but a good start for the side of Crazy Views.
There he is.
My goodness, the man is hitting bullets right now as he starts off at 3-0.
Yeah, just as I was saying, you got the best of both worlds. You got a cracked sub, you got a cracked AR, and Crazy Views. He's one of those people that can do it all. He can 1v9 if he really needs to, but yeah, he has already gone and gotten the spawns, which is really key for them in this scenario. They're tied off a P1, and Cerberus is going to be having to rotate into a very well set up Providence. Respi can be catching him on the rotate as well. Huge start for them. Another one. There he goes. He's looking cracked as usual today.
Yeah, he's looking good indeed. But the one thing that surprises us about Providence is that they found themselves in the losers bracket right away, which I don't think anybody was expecting. And it was maybe due to the fact that there was a long pool play. Everybody was saying they only got about 2-3 hours of sleep. And you got to think, if you are coming on in all the way from literally losers round 1 to the grand finals, you have to think that maybe the fatigue might get to them. And coming into the losers quarters, you still already played 3 series. This is going to be the 4th. So you have to tough it out to see who has that grit, who has the endurance to keep going.
Yeah, these guys are trying to not only be the Lord of the Lowtiers, they're trying to be the 100 Thieves of the Lowtiers, literally starting off in the losers bracket, even though they're pretty good, and then just trying to climb their way all the way back up, which is crazy to think about. But either way, going into P3, I really like Cerberus' setup, except for Pures, a little bit caught lacking there, unfortunately for him, but Respi looking to go for some nice break into the objective, forcing one out of his position. They're coming in from both sides. So another one going down, biting the dust, and Tobin, the last one to fall. Great break coming in for Providence. And it is really not easy to break that hill with a setup like that.
No, it wasn't, but they did it so expertly. It was surgical, and nobody dropped either. That was impressive. And guess what? Crazy Views is 8-0. He hasn't died on the map yet. This is incredible for the side of Providence. And guess what? He will escape one player who is hunting him down. That will be Stu. And he might have the chance to come on in and find another kill. And my goodness, you're 3 hills in and you haven't died. That's incredible. Oh, I'm sorry.
Exactly what I was thinking in that moment. But yeah, as you can see, Providence, they're doing a pretty good job of rotating. Once again, gonna be blocking out those spawns. Respi, genius. But unfortunately, it's gonna be getting caught out by Pures. whatever that guy's name is, number 5. I don't quite know how to say that guy's name.
It's Andy.
Andy, thank you. I would not have gotten that from that one, so thank you for translating for me, Graf.
Hey, no problems. I read facial expressions like anybody's business out here. But Respi, he is laying down the law with that AR, which you typically don't see him with. But kill feed will light up blue. And for the side of Cerberus, they've had a tough go. They are considered probably one of the best respawn teams in the tournament this weekend. And they need to come up here and show Providence that they mean business. And right now, they just have really not been able to make a dent yet. They did have that rotation. They immediately got broke on that kitchen hill. Finally getting a little bit of time here on the P4.
Yeah, and that is a hill that they should have, in my opinion, gotten quite a lot of time off of. They had everything great on paper, but Providence just caught them a little bit lacking on some of their angles and systematically took them apart. It's a sign. These guys are a really, really good team and could very well be one that makes it to the grand finals if they are able to beat Cerberus right here, right now. But as you can see, rotating towards next is going to be Providence once again, doing great rotations on pretty much all the hills so far. Cerberus getting held at a little bit of a distance. Curious fight going on here is going to be between Ethan Too Nice and Andy in the middle of the map. If he can bypass Andy's angle, which it looks like he is, and they could be in a little bit of trouble here on this objective. And indeed they are. That's a full team wipe.
Oh, it's a big team wipe indeed, Cerberus. This was much needed time for them to at least get it to even or potentially take the lead as long as no more contests come on in. Dude, he's looking to have a bounce back because in the winners semis, he ended up having a 1-7 or 2-7 search and destroy map 5. So he's looking for a lot of redemption here as he starts it off 8-7, still getting all of the time needed. And this should be the restaurant hill secured. But now the rotation is afoot. And you have 3 players kind of just sitting on in the back, playing a little bit passive, still close knit, and they are actually finding the kills. So maybe trying to make me eat my words, but E2N trying to find one more, and that's going to be Andy. This is going to be a big 1v1 that could potentially decide the hill.
Yes, it might, but Wiser's still here as well. Got people extending from the previous objective to try and go for the spawn break. That's a good little bit of macro coming in here from Cerberus. A great way to break P5. It's exactly what they've done. I love seeing people do that, and it's going to have great impact for Cerberus as they do now take the lead. Crazy Views trying to do it the exact same way, breaking them from the back while the rest of his teammates push from the front. He's going to be flipping out the spawns while his teammates go for the full frontal assault. I think this is going to be pretty difficult to defend from if they don't find Crazy Views early on enough, which they do, so they might very well be able to repel this attack from Providence.
Yeah, and that was all due to number 4 Pures. He came in through the middle of the map and had to wrap all the way through kitchen to find that kill, and it was a big one indeed. A good little cooked grenade. Unfortunately, will not connect for Stu, but the drop shot will, as he will find it. And on the other side, I believe that was Rispy from, or Wiser's from range takes him down. They get a few little bit of seconds of scrap time, but after the first set of rotation, a relatively close game. Providence, they haven't necessarily been rotating as well as they could. They found a really crucial break when it came down to that initial P3, so you would like to see them get those rotations a tad bit earlier.
I do agree with that. I do also just love Cerberus's methodology. You can tell why they picked this map. These guys have got the rotations down pat, especially that extension from P4 to P5, break those spawns. They basically got like a whole 100 points straight from there, more or less. Well, I shouldn't necessarily say that because that's mathematically impossible. But you know what I'm saying? It's quite a lot of hill time going on there, Graf. And they're already on this P1 as well. They're forcing Providence into a bad position where they're gonna either lose a monumental lead right now or lose it in the future if they don't get these P2 spawns, neither of which they have.
And right now, they're getting a little bit of this time. Cerberus is, oh, Crazy Views gets perfect timing on to Tobin. It's a matter of, can he take this player down? And I'm not sure if he saw him cross. He did, and the shot will connect. The head shot multiplier is critical. And now they are starting to push out the backside spawn, and this could be the chance for Providence to find themselves right back into the game, as it will be Rispy cutting through middle. And oh, unfortunately, it will be another player sneaking on in through that bar area. And now the spawns will be secured for Providence, but not if number 3 Tobin has anything to say about it.
Tobin really trying to play his life while the rest of his teammates going for the regular side break. Well played. Rispy coming in and cleaning up shop here as well with Wisers. So Providence will be able to bounce back 30 seconds off the table for them, and so that's great time wasted for Cerberus. because Providence, they had a pretty dang good setup there, but unfortunately, they're not going to be able to make the most out of it. Basically, like only 10 seconds gained off this hill despite this good setup. That is great pressure coming out from Cerberus, and as you can see, they're already going to next. Pressure being applied from Andy here as well. Big 1v1 going on here between him and Tovin. Doesn't seem that he's willing to take it alone. He's waiting for Respi to come over and rotate with him. That's not a bad idea, but it does give Cerberus a little bit more time to set up on the hill. That really does benefit you for doing that.
And if you're Providence, you are just hoping you can get it to this P4 because it's Crazy Views on 7. He's 26-10, and he's looking to go hunting, but a big kill by E2 win. But Andy immediately there for the trade. And actually, no trophies in the hill, so Wisers, he might just get free ranges. You'll find one, and it allows Rispy to make that break. Providence, beautiful, beautiful awareness coming on in as they will find that early break, and this can potentially get them right back into the game.
Ooh, Ethan trying to move his opponent around. 13 HP left for Crazy Views. Trying to stay alive. Breaking on into the objective. Trying to fight for the contest spot. Huge bait coming in there from Cures. All they gotta do is just stand on their bait time. And unfortunately, that is not quite what they're gonna do. They get annihilated by Crazy Views, but the pressure is going to be enough. And Cerberus is currently in a position where they can win off these breaks. Coming out of this, they're gonna have only like 28 seconds left necessary. If you get 14 seconds off of the remaining hills, then you are totally good. That's a luxury that Providence does not have, so they're gonna have to see every single one of these hills through to the end.
They absolutely do, and right now it's really only one player popping off from Cerberus, and it's Pure as this Tobin. He's sitting at 12-20, so it shows that their fundamentals are killing them, or at least getting them. Coming on in and showing that support is Crazy. He's going to be the lone player, and can he find it? It seems like he is the one-man wrecking crew for the side of Providence.
Yeah, but will it be enough? 31 kills doesn't seem to be enough. For now, it is, as Wisers does break back onto the objective. They can basically capture their opponents off this hill, but look at Tovin in a great position to do some damage. They're all focused on the front, but Crazy Views in the perfect spot to watch their back. And just like that, Ethan going to be getting a solid nade, but you're starting to run out of time. You're starting to get some opportunity costs going on here for Ethan. If you're able to get this kill, then yes, it's well worth taking this time. You're getting closer to the win, and getting this kill from Piers is huge as well. Respi is all alone. He is surrounded, and Providence is in a horrible position to steal this one out. A lot resting on the shoulders of Respi in order to make sure they don't lose this on this hill.
And all he needs to do is just stay alive for a little bit longer to allow his teammates to get pushed on up. Tovin, he gets taken in the back, but a beautiful nade, and you have to go if you are Providence, and it will be Wisers coming on in through the contest, and he doesn't need to do too much. Just stay down, keep your head, allow those ARs to come on in, but Stu, he goes big, finds one. Can Rispy get there in time? No, he cannot, and the rest will fall, and it will be Cerberus taking the map 1, 250 to 201.
Yeah, and we do continue to see Cerberus' dominance in the respawn. Not too surprising considering their statistics today. They have been really giving it to their opponents on that map, on their map pick, no less of Hotel. And so, as soon as we go on to Embassy, which is Providence's map pick, I'm more curious to see if they are able to keep up this string of good plays.
And that's going to be the biggest question, but Cerberus, they have not been too good on the search and destroy, so you're expecting Providence to have a good bounce back, and they just came off of a map 5 victory, so they're feeling, I think, pretty confident going on into the Embassy, but like you said, it's going to be an interesting map due to the fact that some people love to pull out that sniper. I'm curious who is going to bring out that boomstick. We've seen some incredible snipes here today, and I'm just excited to see what everybody else can bring to the table.
Yeah, in my experience, I've seen from the side of Providence, Crazy Views is a really good sniper, and especially on this map, every team that I've seen him on online or on land, he gives great benefit to on the sniper whenever they're attacking. It's pretty much a free plant scenario, and having to go into the post plant wins the sniper fights quite a lot. However, Ethan Too Nice is also a really good sniper. They're maybe having a little bit of a rough time on the day, judging by their 1-in-4 map loss ratio on S&D. But generally, by and large, when I've seen him across the years, he's been a really good sniper that you can depend a lot upon. So I don't know if it's going to be just a walk in the park for Crazy Views, just getting the overall great overwatch and allowing his team to get uncontested plants.
And both of these two teams, they've had a little bit of struggles today just in this mode alone. And I do think this is going to be a gauntlet of a map. I think I see this going to a round 11. And in particular, it's who's really going to get those first blood. Cerberus, the last time we casted them, they ended up losing 6-1. They only got three first bloods. And then Providence, they got, I think, who was it, 6-2 or 6-3? They only found 2 out of those rounds. So it's really coming down to who plays it a little bit more patient and who does make those middle of the map adjustments, because we do see that time and time again, teams will have slow starts like Retirement Home did earlier on or in the last series. They were down 0-4 and then won 6 straight to take the map too.
Yeah, something that I've noticed over the years, Graph, is just good search and destroy teams. They have one thing over moderately okay search and destroy teams, and that is the fact that they take notes on what their opponents likes to do. Yeah, you can be cracked, you could be great, and that can get you quite far in this. But if your opponents are just as cracked as you, but they actually pay attention to what you're doing and they can establish patterns and pretty much predict where you're going to go, what angle to hold with the sniper rifle to guarantee themselves a kill, that is going to be something that gives them a massive, massive edge over you. Because it doesn't matter how cracked you are if you get pre-aimed with a sniper and killed at the beginning of the round.
It absolutely doesn't, and right now it will be Providence kind of taking a little bit of a slow approach. You don't have any trophies, don't have dead silence here at the beginning, so utility is going to be massive, at least for information, or potentially holding on to it and then throwing an absolute dime as it's crazy views again. He is just opening up, and then once more, it's Wisers who comes in, and then crazy views. Wow, what an opening round for Providence.
Oh, what an opening round indeed. That is quite literally the perfect start. Great usage of the util, great overall map control. That was such an impressive opening. Like, their opponents literally could not move, and that's part of the reason why those nades were so effective. And so, yeah, would not have wanted to start that off any other way. That B hit is definitely going to set a precedent.
It surely is, and we'll happen to see if Cerberus can bounce back from that one, because they were just catching all of the nades. They didn't even care. They didn't even want to run. They were looking like they were receiving for Tom Brady or something with everything they were holding on to. But looking to come in for the offenses, they tend to favor this B site hit, and that looks like it's exactly what's going to happen. But nades coming on through will not connect, so they waited this time, just patient up. But look at how aggressive Rispy is getting on the map.
Yeah, this can be a good thing or a bad thing. It seems that Cerberus is understanding that their opponents are going to try and be aggressive at them. This is just the way a lot of good search and destroy teams do like to play. Early on, they'll be as aggressive as is humanly possible, see what they can get away with and what their opponents will give to them. And ooh, it seems like they might be getting away with a lot, actually. Nothing. Great baiting and switching coming out from Ethan 2-1 to make sure they're all getting damaged, but none of them actually dying. And another one falling now as well. Ethan 2 nice, living up to the namesake once again. While they're still in the middle of the map, great intel being gained from Ethan. I think that they know that he's here, but all still alive and ready to make this be a hit, excuse me.
And Wisers, oh, what a shot on Appears. That's a big kill for them, putting it into manageable numbers at 2v3. And Rispy, he still finds himself in a good spot as well, and he's trying to clear out all of top embassy, and he has that information, so they have at least the knowledge of where one player is. And Wisers, he's going to take this challenge. Will he win it? The nade's going to force the player out, but Tovin wisely backs down. Rispy, though, on the back end, the dead silence has been popped. Quickly gets it into that 2v2.
Yep, 2N and Tovin in very uncomfortable positions. Enemies on all sides of them and not knowing generally when they're going to go. Great kill from Tovin and a great opposite kill from the opposite end of the map from Ethan 2 nice. So just like that, it might have been slower and maybe a little bit less flashy as Providence is opening, but I mean, a win is a win here, Graph.
It's a big win, too, because you just want to have a little bit of momentum on your side. Yeah, you came on through for a great bounce back, but it's a matter of keeping that consistency, right? We see teams, like you said, it's about taking those notes, understanding how the opponent plays and adapting to it. And we've seen kind of both of these two teams struggle throughout the day to be able to make those adjustments. So I think if it goes to around 11, these two teams are just going to headbang it out and be like, hey, who has the better gunny? Who uses the utilities a tad bit more? But immediately, I love this quick plant coming on in for Providence.
Yeah, and once again, you see that utility you were mentioning, forcing Cerberus off the angles, as well as the long angles being held, allowing Wisers to get up close and personal and frying people. Stu getting a great return kill for that, but it's one for the price of two on a bomb plant. Not worthwhile trading going on here for Cerberus, but you see Tovin actually be pulling out the sniper rifle. We'll see what he can do. Definitely going to need to do some good stuff in this position, as he knows exactly where the shells are going to come from. He's going to have to give some great overwatch coming in for Stu, who dies as soon as he tries to touch that bomb.
An unfortunate hit marker as well for Tovin. Oh, my, are you kidding me? You hit 2? Oh, that's got to be difficult. Oh, the third one, it finally will connect. Just not enough time left on the clock, and you'll have to see it. He's hitting his shots. It's just a matter of It keeps rubbing through the tree, and ooh, right there, misses it. Still Providence, a good post plant setup. It's so difficult to take down two players that sit on top Embassy, and even the sniper couldn't rat them out.
Yeah, something that I don't normally point out in Search and Destroy, but is very, very key right now is the util throw timings. They're a lot better for Providence. You notice how that guy in the long angle was trying to keep Providence from going for that plant early on. Not only did they have some great util placements, forced him off the angle, otherwise he was just going to die from that stun and that follow-up with the Semtex, but he would have also easily died to Crazy Views holding the long angle on him as well. Keeping their opponents stuck off the angles with all those things enables them to get these easy bomb plants in Cerberus. They have not been able to get the same thing, especially with Andy doming Piers right there.
I love how you pointed that out, though. It's just having those team utilities and making sure you throw them at the right time and making sure you're throwing them in the correct spot as well.
Getting to the position to throw them quicker.
And you see that all the time in Fortress as well when you're in that gallows. Just back the players off from double doors with your utilities, especially in that first round. But we're talking about Cerberus and Providence right now, and it will be Cerberus getting the number advantage into a 1v3. Crazy Views, though, when he's alive, he's difficult to deal with. And, oh my goodness, Stu had the bomb. And so now it's a 1v2. This is doable for Crazy.
I do have to say, though, he was trying to recover the bomb. Crazy Views had it down the whole time, and they're going to have to go and deal with this guy no matter what. Know exactly where he is now. They know where the bomb is as well. Time is running out. They're basically going to have to kill Crazy Views at this point. He's between them and the bomb. Time is running out. Cerberus has to make a play. I get Crazy Views is a good player, and you don't want to get separated from each other or lined up. So you're still going to have to make a play here sooner rather than later. You got to find him at this point. You're taking too long. You're not going to be able to get this bomb plant down. He didn't even pick up the bomb either. They're going to have to hunt for him. What is going on here, Cerberus? Floundering at the opportunity. And Crazy Views, procking the dead silence, just sitting, waiting, expertly played from Crazy Views.
My goodness, talk about 200 IQ. He was running circles around those players and just did a great job. And I love that stun as well. So he made it seem like he was still in top embassy, but he immediately ducked out. And that just gives him that 3-1 advantage. And it just shows finding that one kill. You don't need to do a whole bunch, but it was completely on the other side of the map. I think Cerberus, though, they just played it a little bit too slow. They should have just immediately said, hey, let's just try to play for that trade. Let's go and get that bomb. Unfortunately, was not the case.
Yeah, no respect being given here from Tov and just flies right on and kills Wisers, but gets a little bit too stuck and gets traded back out by Crazy Views. Bomb is down in there, however, so Providence's push is not going to be as fast as it was the last time. But what they're hoping is that Cerberus, they get a little bit too overly caught out here, getting a little bit too aggressive on the lack of intel. And ooh, they know exactly where Ethan Too Nice is. Crazy Views trying to go for the pinch out play, but the angle work is looking nice. Rispy going to be unable to get that trade because, again, the angle work from Cerberus. He's not going to be able to take the Chow when he's not getting 2v1. Andy going to be able to get one right on back, though, but time is well and truly running out. He's got no teammates, and as long as Cerberus keep their cool, unlike last round, they will be totally fine.
Oh, keep their cool, and they do. It's Pures needing to go big, finds that just 1v1, and it at least stops the bleeding for now. But Stu, we get to see him just kind of hold this angle. Ooh, comes in with the team fire, so does help out Pures a little bit. But like you said, it's about playing this one patient and making sure you get those opportunities and play a little bit of these ratty corners. And it's just kind of interesting to see both of these two teams go at it. Not necessarily the best strats that we've ever seen as Piers. He's 0-4 currently, looking to maybe join the agency, but we still have a lot of search and destroy left to go.
Yeah, that agency being MI6, name James Bond. But anyways, Piers gonna be the guinea pig here, the bomb carrier, since he hasn't been able to get a single kill yet, and that stat will remain the same, but he does open things up and gets a nade for his teammates post-mortem, excuse me. Great shots coming out from Stu as well onto Wisers. Bomb is going to be down, and Stu is going to be in a good spot to go get this back, but Crazy with a great little view onto Ethan Too Nice. Making Stu and Tovens think about their options as Providence is going to be rotating. Crazy doing some good damage and at least slowing down the play.
Yeah, and it's just forcing everything just to go at a snail's pace as he just keeps peeking off at these different angles. And Oh, he's going to go out. Oh, no, I thought he was challenging. He just goes back into orange, goes up to the top steps, and they all have the information of where both of the players from Cerberus are. It's just a matter if Stu can get the bomb down or just crazy smokes the side of Tovin off of top embassy.
Yeah, Stu, what do you do here if you're Stu? I really don't know. He's going to try and go for a play to B. It seems that Andy thinks he's going for a rotation to A. This is, again, playing on the lack of intel from your opponents, getting this bomb plant down. Unfortunately for him, Crazy Views is still going to be here. Going to check the bomb site to see if he can find him. Andy going to be on the long angle, does get taken down, but Crazy's still in a great spot to take the counter shell. One shot as can be. Crazy Views will not be losing that one any day of the week, and we'll get this defuse.
That's a big kill, too, because it was Stu who read it perfectly, but like you said, it was a one-shot, and all he needed was that singular bullet to go right on through, and ooh, the man sipping the Red Bull, so you can feel like these guys are trying to keep that energy level up, making sure that they're not getting too tired as it is coming into the later half of the tournament and of Championship Sunday. Crazy View, again, the player that we've just highlighted, he has 7 non-traded kills, sitting at 8-3. I mean, you cannot preach about this man enough.
Yeah. Players are definitely downing a lot of energy drinks, as you can see. They're very, very cracked today. And so, Tovin, waiting in the middle of the map, and quite a lot of chows from that window, but almost gets killed from on high. Crazy Views is going to be killing out the person that helped him out, getting a lot of great intel, but that frag is going to be a little bit not great. Great shot coming out from Andy here as well into Stu, and man, they are getting completely routed here. Tovin's solo duel here, almost not even getting the trade out kill onto Andy. That was pretty much a sitter, unfortunately for him. Trying to make his way out, but bomb plant going down at A. Tovin gonna be in a little bit of rough waters here, going for the ace.
I think at this point, if you find one kill, just say F it, try to hop the bomb, but he doesn't check the close corner. Too easy for Providence, and it was another squeaky clean round, and you pointed it out, their grenades have been so on point. They keep finding, once they get that information, they say, hey, we're going to nade out this angle, and it has been working to perfection. Wiser's holding that corner, but Providence, they just seem like they are a step ahead right now of Cerberus in the search.
Yeah, I mean, their util, if it doesn't get them a kill, it gets them the intel that leads up to a kill. It's always, that's, again, something that I rarely have to point out, because sometimes when you're casting these things in Search and Destroy, people just run on in. There's clearly the better team in Search and Destroy. Just based on their individual skill, they just gun each other down. But I always love it when I see stuff like this being a huge difference maker as well. And so, Crazy Views, we've seen him be a little bit cracked as well as good with the intel. Recipe's going to get a little bit forced off the angle. Ethan, too nice. Great opening kill onto their top player. Andy falling now as well. Ethan, I'm liking it, dude. And just like that, another one biting the dust. Another one is gone. Recipe, will he be the final one to fall? No, he's going to at least take down Ethan. In the meantime, a bomb has been recovered. And 50 seconds to play with for Cerberus.
And he hears at least one of the players going from the outside, tries to take a few long-range bullets. And maybe he would have liked to see just a tad bit more trigger discipline as he's trying to bait him on out, opening up the doors. But he has a lot of ground to cover, and he could potentially take down maybe that planner. Nope. Unfortunately, he will get in and out, and this is going to be a very difficult retake.
Will indeed. 35 seconds to kill 3 people or get a ninja defuse. I don't know if he's going to be feeling like he's having the gumption to go for that. I mean, all the angles are being properly held by Cerberus. This is a really awful spot to be in. Does find Tovin, though, and gets out scot-free. Knows exactly where Stu is now as well, and can probably predict generally where Piers is, especially if he's able to take out the fact that up here is this place that he's not sitting at. So Recipe generally knows where these guys are going to be at, but knowing doesn't always help as you're really, really running out of time. He's got 3 kills, so what he's going to do is just see if he can get an easy one on the way out to get him closer to streaks, just in case this game goes on a little bit longer than one more round. And unfortunately, ooh, just barely surviving that one, Recipe. Got to be thanking for that one.
Yeah, he hopped out. He's like, oh, this one's over. Gets a few bullets into it. He's like, whew, thank God. A little sweat off the brow right there. Still on 3 in a row. But Cerberus, can they just win 4 rounds back to back to back to back? Because we just have not seen it so far today. And they do get one on the board, and you'll like to see that. It's about taking down, I think, Crazy Views as well as Rispy. You take down those 2 players, you're in a good spot as they once again get aggressive towards this B site, and they back up anybody if they were on that corner. But look at Wisers. He gets a great read onto one of these players, but he immediately backs down as Rispy. He went up from the top side, and now you put yourself at even numbers. Stu, can he win it? No, trades are there. 2v2.
2v2. Interesting positioning here from Cerberus. They do find themselves between their opponents. If Wisers does want to plant for his teammate, he's going to be making himself a very easy target for Ethan. So they're probably weighing their options here. And while they weigh their options, you can see Piers going, looking to see if he can get any intel. Seeing where Crazy Views is. Oh, crazy. I think he saw him. Maybe he didn't. Is the foot going to be exposed this time when he goes around? Oh, I don't think he quite realizes that he sees his foot here. It blends in too perfectly with the textures. Now he sees him, though. Gets up at the worst time possible. And so, Wisers alone knows that his opponents are at his back, and mid-map hold is going to come in clutch for Cerberus. They can still get this one done, Graf.
Oh, and maybe for the side of Providence, you're feeling a little bit of nervousness creeping on forward. You lose back-to-back rounds, and a 6-4 is potentially, or excuse me, a 5-4. They only need one more to get it all tied up, and the pressure starting to build up because it is going to be, this is serious. It means so much to both of these two teams because if you lose, you go home. You're done for the day, empty-handed as Cerberus. They're showing signs of life, but is it a little bit too late?
I don't know. These guys sitting right across from each other, they're going to know just what's on the line. They can literally smell the fear potentially coming off of these people. I've heard that that's a thing that happens at LANs. But either way, slow start coming out from Cerberus. Don't want to give their opponents any easy kills, gathering as much intel as possible. That's something that Providence has been having a monopoly on so far, but nothing to be gained from it just yet. Andy gonna be running right on in, and that's exactly what Cerberus wanted. Getting a little bit too anxious from the lack of intel, and we finding one out. Crazy View's gonna be on the flank though, and Respy finding another one here as well. Just like that, Cerberus are finding themselves a player down with 45 seconds left.
And right now, Pures, he's in a very tough spot, and he has to be the guy to make a play. He has to find at least one of these picks, and he knows Crazy Views is still lurking in the backside. Is he making the most of his dead silence? But look at number 3. He's worked his way up top. That's Rispy, and now Stu. He's going to pop his. And can he find any of these players? The bomb is down in such a difficult spot, though, as Wisers is holding on to the cross, and yep, he will catch out Stu. Pures, can he win it? No, he cannot in Providence. They will close it out.
Yep, and they do maintain the ice all the way through. Getting a little bit close there towards the end due to some great gameplay coming out from Cerberus, but obviously these guys got the ice, and unfortunately Cerberus will now continue in their S&D losing ways. They are still only winning one map of S&D on the day here, Graf.
And yeah, unfortunately, their woes continue as Providence. They are showing why, hey, coming off of that map 5, they maybe have learned from a few mistakes. They got a majority of the first bloods. It was 6-4, and it showed in the round count. But heading on into the Asilo control, this is going to be interesting because you would love those ARs to reign supreme. But we can see the submachine guns, if you're in the middle of the map, it allows your teammates to transition so easily. So you really just need somebody to step on up in the respawn for Providence, and you just have a feeling Rispy is going to be that guy.
I mean, yeah, I shouted him out in the very beginning. Respy is a very, very good sub player, great at getting entry kills. His KDs might not always be the most spectacular looking, but he always gets the job done, and he wins a lot of fights that you would be like, wow, I can't believe he won that. And so that's something that I'm looking to come into play on this map, where fighting over the middle of the map is basically make or break for attack or defense. He's going to be someone that I'm definitely looking at to be a difference maker for Providence as they're looking to take their respawn to go along with their S&Ds.
It's just a matter of being able to steal a respawn off Cerberus, and if you do, you find yourself in such a good spot, especially if it comes down to that map 5, going all the way, going to the distance. But again, it comes down to this control, and this could be the game decider. If Cerberus take this one, you're feeling good about being able to take that map 4. Yeah, it might not be necessarily, or no, that will not be their pick. So Providence, they're going to have that advantage if they're going on into this map 4, but hey, this control, it means everything to these teams. And I would love to see some early aggression coming in from the field side. Just back everybody down with those grenades, throw them deep, make sure you can at least hop on into that point.
Yeah, I mean, I would be I would be a little bit shocked if I saw anything other than a contention for mid-map and ARs try and go for the outside wherever the attacking side deems, okay, we definitely want to be going towards this one first. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw them all run down the middle of the map, run it down mid. But, I mean, that's just the main thing that we're going to be looking at on this map graph. It's a very simplistic map. You want to be gaining control over the middle, and 9 times out of 10, that's going to be leading to you having the win because your opponents, if they do lose control of the middle of the map, that gives a lot of great angles to contest from on the attacking side or the defending side from the defending side. You can flank your opponents on repeat, basically dictate their respawn tempo and constantly keep them in a state of death. Attacking side, same thing. It'll basically force your opponents to one side or the other, spawning completely far away from whatever objective you're wanting to take, and an easy cutoff on their rotation from those spawns.
Especially just do not go that 3-4 down. And if you're the attacking side, you get that, they're going to be spawning all the way out in Narnia. So hopefully you have your trophies ready to go if you're not stacking it, because they will come flying on in. But I want to give everybody an update as well for the other losers quarterfinals. And it was actually Chaos Esports. I kind of expected this. They took down Retirement Club in a 3-0 fashion. So the losers finals, it's Chaos waiting in the wings. But I know, Comica, we have Imperial versus Reaction 9 Esports for the winners finals coming up after this one. It's been such a great day at Call of Duty.
Yeah, and a little bit of storyline to go along with that Chaos win. They are actually the team that sent Cerberus packing down to the losers bracket in round 1. So this will be a little bit of an opportunity for Cerberus, if they are able to beat Providence, mind you, to get a little bit of the sweetest kind of revenge. Beating them in the loser semis, the same team that beat you, that would be pretty awesome, and a little bit of a righting of the wrongs of the past for Cerberus if they are able to get there.
Yeah, they need to get there. The search and destroys. I mean, that's the biggest key. We will say it all day long. Search and destroy wins championships, and so far they have just not shown that. So in Championship Sunday, so they need a quick bounce back. But I can already hear everybody getting ready to load on into this El Asilo. And Kamiko, we didn't even talk about this. What were your predictions for this series? Who are you expecting to come out on top?
Oh, I love making hot takes and predictions. If I had to make a guess here, dude, I would say with about a 51% certainty that Cerberus come out with the win on this. Now, the one thing that obviously these guys are really good at respawn, and I'm going to say that probably it's going to shine through on this one as well, but I think that it's still quite almost equally as likely that their opponents come out on top, because Embassies, it can be quite a difficult map if you're a run-of-the-mill Hardpoint team, because it plays a lot different. Instead of trying to play for rotations, you're trying to play for kills, which give you those rotations. On this map, it's sort of similar. So Cerberus, who have been getting decently outkilled by their opponents on these earlier maps, might struggle with that, but I still think that their methodology can put them out on top.
It absolutely can. It's kind of interesting to see Tovin, because he's been kind of that flex player, running the AR, running the submachine gun, and already a great start for him in this map 3 is he's already putting the pressure on, and this is going to be so annoying. This is exactly what you said, Comico, is taking control in the middle of the map and dictating how fast they can respawn. But look, nobody's even overwatching this B site except for E2N. That will be Ethan, and he immediately gets sniffed out, and this is the problem, because you can allow those players to come on in, but one nade, that will at least slow this push for now, maybe allow a little bit of the reinforcements, but still the kills are going to Providence way.
That's 4 players down for Cerberus, exactly what you do not want, and a 4-man stack if they do so want it, but obviously they only got 2 people on it, just because they want to keep their opponents nice and stuck away from them. They're worried about the flank from the middle of the map if they do completely give it up, but ooh, and that's exactly what they should have been worried about. Knocked off the objective. They know where Crazy Views is here as well, and Ethan Too Nice going to take advantage of the fact that their opponents capitulated mid-map control and try and keep them off of it with that great window angle.
And it's Piers to double up as well. It will be Tovin to also find one. Piers will eventually fall, but Rispy, the guy who's been a playmaker for Providence, tries to go on in, and unfortunately he will get caught out. And that's Tovin again. Now he's switched to the AR, so kind of just dictating how he wants to play. He's going aggression early and then slows it back to the AR, but he's the player that I'm really looking out for on the side of Cerberus, because he has some of these inconsistent games. If he's able to clean that one up, Cerberus find himself in a good spot.
Yep, and Cerberus, they find themselves in an interesting position right now as they've got one guy in the objective and 12 seconds left. No one really near enough to help him out. Big gunfight here, but caught mid-sprint is going to be Tovin, and so this might be the saving grace for Providence. Putting enough time back on the board to rotate over to B. Pure's going to try and stop this deadness tracks, and he will catch one off of it. And he is going to hop the objective in time, knows where Wisers is, and finds him for the kill. In the meantime, coming down is going to be Andy, very weak. Pure's trying to stay alive, but cannot get it done. In the meantime, Ethan Too Nice trying to stop the immediate just rotation over. In the same time, going to give them a little bit of something to think about, keeping at least one of the players away from them for the full push.
And he's going to be so annoying back here. And if you're Providence, do you decide to try to sweep him out, or do you just go through the middle and try to clear out it in a 4v3? A little bit more difficult, but Tovin, he finds one, and Stu will grab another. So still a good setup for the side of Cerberus. It will be Andy gets taken down, and now you're coming all the way off a respawn. It's going to be a difficult push for the side of Providence.
Yeah, Andy probably not thinking that Tovin would take that shell at 4 health, and I can kind of forgive him for that. But either way, mid-map control looking to be gained by Respi. He was that guy that we were talking about. Might be able to find Stu nade in hand, but he finds Respi mid-sprint. Once again, tries to slide out of it, but can't quite get it done. Wisers now hitting the dirt as well. Running out of respawns here for Providence. And yes, they will be losing Andy now as well. Looking like it's going to be a loss on this round. Not bad getting the 4, but I wouldn't be too shocked if Cerberus was able to go and win their attack with how I've been seeing them now. I mean, even completely out-killing their opponents.
I think they went on a 10-team streak right at the end, so the confidence clearly shining through. And like you said, I could expect them to maybe come out swinging here on their offensive attack. It's just a matter of finding those kills at the correct moments and being able to capitalize. And that was kind of the thing that Providence wasn't really able to do in the winners round 1 against Chaos. They would find some of these kills, but either somebody wouldn't hop onto the point or they wouldn't stack a hill when they should have. And it's fixing those small mistakes. And right now, Providence, it's kind of showing. It feels like they find some of these kills, but don't necessarily take full advantage of them.
Yeah, the fact that they weren't able to catch B because they lost the middle of the map control just because they all left it was a little bit of a rough one for them. That was literally the thing that made them lose the round, in my opinion. Was the fact that they kept absolutely nobody in the middle of the map. Ethan Too Nice able to come through the window, fry them off the objective, easy as it gets. And now they're looking to get stuck in here as well. Respi going in for the spawn traps. This is the double-edged sword of losing control over the middle of the map. Cerberus are going to be losing it this time, and Respi's trying to make it do as much damage as is humanly possible, and they already have a nice little lead on kills for them.
Nice little lead, but you have to get at least 4 ticks to get that advantage. And now, look who pushed all the way through. That will be Tovin. As Providence, they're trying to play this one slow. Pures. Can he find one? But no, it will be Wisers going big, immediately traded on through. And it is just trades going back and forth, and Andy has been so annoying on that antenna side of the map or radio tower. But look at Tovin, the burn onto Rispi. Immediately the trades are through. Still a little bit of time here garnered on this A site, but again, when you have crazy, it just feels like you are never out of it. And now Wise are starting to hit beams as well.
Yeah, just great communication coming in here from Providence. Always catching these Cerberus players on off angles. They're always like, oh, look over here, then just get socked from the other side by the other player coming onto the angle. And great communication to facilitate that coming out from Providence, as you can see. Now, a singular tick coming in here from Cerberus. Completely and utterly flabbergasted I am. I cannot believe that they weren't even able to get a single tick after all that great stuff on the defense in the previous respawns. They're going to try and do that now. Crazy Views has other plans, though. He knows that there's one guy here, gets caught out, but they're both gonna show at the same time, or maybe not, getting a little bit zoned off by the box there, but coming around the back, Andy, total control, should be able to get it done, but the stack is still going to be here for Cerberus. 3 men on, they know they cannot afford to give it up.
And spoke a little bit too soon, because now they're going to get that A site, and even though they're down in the lives, you put yourself in a good position. They're in the middle of the map, and we want to see them take control of it and cut off any of the reinforcements from the side of Providence. Crazy, trying to do what he can. We'll go 1 for 1, but Pures, if he gets into a forefront position, this could be difficult as Tovin. He also wins another one, but look at Andy. He's all the way up field side. Will anybody get this read? But Tovin finds another kill, and it's a good split across the map. It's just a matter of can they get somebody on the point. It was Pures, but he immediately goes down.
Yeah, bad timing on the deaths. And if you look, Tovin is still in the middle of the map. Great placement in a trophy system there. But Wisers does still find him on the angle. Above him is going to be Tovin, having great intel on where this guy is at. See if he can catch the back line here as well for the top heady. And Wiser's now falling as well. Great flank from Tovin, really making the play here, getting Stu in position to kill the final player. The stack is looking to come out here, and they find the guy on the tree as well. It's Stu going to be the only one that's able to catch the hill, but they at least do get the 4. Providence are going to be looking to get back here as soon as it's humanly possible. He does see Ethan and does get him, but the second tick will still come in from Cerberus, and who's to say they're even going to stop there? Crazy views up top, can't see a dang thing from up here. Going to have to chow out onto the objective. He's got an enemy player right to his side, can't do a dang thing, and just like that, Cerberus looking like they were about to lose the round, but making their opponents look a little bit silly by the end.
Oh, we definitely spoke too soon on that one because we thought we clearly thought that was going to be an easy round for the side of Rispy, but from the depth, Cerberus, this what makes them so dangerous, right? You can never count them out at any single moment, and they capitalize on their opportunities when they were given to them. And in particular, it was Tovin. He held the middle of the map. He got on a 5 kill streak, and just holding onto that top window or anybody trying to come through mid, he stopped him and allowed his teammates to at least get one player on, and that just caused a whole bunch of problems for Providence.
Yeah, not only that, he completely eviscerated their back line. The people that were supposed to be preventing people from getting on the objective, he killed them all. And there was really not a dang thing they could do on the tree heady or anywhere else. The guy stuck out in the spawn, they knew where he was. And so overall, that was really well played from Cerberus. And like I said, they might be getting out killed sometimes, but their methodology is just looking a lot better. Their macro, knowing what to do at the right time, making the right play at the right time, especially when there's 8 seconds left on the clock and you don't have a single tick, knowing what to do there really is getting them through this game.
And it came down to Stu as well. If he didn't find that double right, they would have been in a very difficult situation. The rest of the players would have had to hop on in and putting themselves in really difficult spots, and it would have been multiple angles that the side of Providence would have collapsed upon. So Stu going big, he only needed to get that double on that 8th site, but Providence right back onto it. They should get this tick as well. And Piers, unless if he's going to hop on and try to make a play, and I think right now it's just, you should probably play your life. You don't need to contest this too many players, but oh, he gets one and gets out.
He knows exactly what he's doing. Trying to completely wipe the board of their opponents, use their mid-map control without losing it, but unfortunately was a little bit aggressive, and it does result in them losing mid-map control to Andy and Wisers. So they're going to have to play very, very carefully here. Trying to flip the map on their opponents, catch them in their spawn, catch them from any single possible angle for the Chell, but they're going the complete opposite way around the map, and Wisers will be doing exactly what Tovin did to them previous round.
And now it's up to Piers. He's going to be put into a very deep spawn trap. Number 2, that's Wisers looking right over, and he surely does find the kill, but Ethan 2N also finding one. The trades are going back and forth. Nobody really able to hop onto the point as of yet, and you can tell Providence, they're trying to get this opening, and crazy views with the dead south, but oh, Ethan finds the kill Stu as well, and they are still holding on onto this defense, and now middle of the map, it is given up. Will the side of Cerberus decide to take control of it?
Yeah, what Cerberus is doing good is just, they might not be completely winning these fights, but they're making it scrappy enough to where their opponents can't afford to commit. Otherwise, they'll just get killed out as well and completely lose their map control. They're making it undecisive enough to where it's basically a decisive victory for them. It's great. And Ethan Too Nice going to catch him on the flank as well. Can't fool me the same way twice, says Ethan Too Nice. But a guy coming around the back, Andy, as well as Rispy, trying to make some magic for their team. Gets a little bit caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Guy on the stairs goes down just in time, gets that nade out of his hand, split second perfect. And just like that, all that's left is Andy up top. They know where he is. They find him. They kill him. And with 15 seconds left, it's looking like Cerberus Esports is going to 3-0 Providence in this control.
Oh, but they do end up finding... Oh, sorry. That was actually Cerberus finding the 2 kills. And one more player it's left to deal with, and that will be Andy and Rispy. They will fall in short order. But like you said, it's a 3-0 for Cerberus. And honestly, besides that round 2, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the stat by itself, you would say, oh, that wasn't even close. But obviously, Providence did have some really, really good moments there. It was looking like they were going to shut out their opponents on the attack. But again, these guys have great play calls in really stressful situations. They fall back on their methodology, as I like to call it. and they get themselves through the day. Providence, they just have some unfortunate calls that are just outstaged by Cerberus's knowledge of the game, and they get themselves through the day, and even to where they're able to get themselves back positive towards the end. And so they do find themselves in a position where they can win the series without winning a singular search and destroy.
Yeah, they might do it once again, but you can never count out Providence, especially when you have crazy views. And I think that was kind of the factor why they didn't have so much success in that was control, because he ended up going 12 and 20. And when one of your main slaying ARs is not able to slay, it makes it that much more difficult, especially when it comes to map control and just, taking up those other players and allowing your submachine guns to get pushed up on the map. They just did not simply have that. And again, the side of Cerberus, they are so good at this respawns. And if you're Cerberus, swear to God, you do not want to go. You do not want to let this one go to a map 5.
Yeah, definitely not. You're going to want to end this one as soon as it's humanly possible, especially considering how good your opponents are at search and destroy. However, I do have to say that if I had to pick a map for Providence to pick, and obviously they thought this as well, I would say we would be picking Embassy, because straight up, dude, this map is a little bit different than the map that Cerberus picked. Yeah, you can have some really good rotations on this map, and on a lot of hills that is going to be key. But the way you get those rotations is by getting a lot of good kills, and it really does reward aggression. Who's been playing completely bouncing off the walls aggressive this entire time and getting good value for it? It's been Providence. On the last map, hasn't been so much that way, but on the Hardpoint, they were able to break hills quite effectively. The majority of the time, those P3s, the hill that is supposed to be the hardest hill to break on the entire map, they broke it every single time very early on first try. And that's a very good statistic to have going into this embassy. They were able to thoroughly outkill their opponents a lot of the time, but unfortunately they just lost out due to some better rotations and better P4 to P5. But on this map, all I'm saying is that it does play a little bit different from this hotel, a little bit more towards their play style.
And that's going to be the biggest thing, right? Is who's going to be able to get those rotations and find those big kills, right? You don't necessarily need to outslay your opponent in certain instances. It's just a matter of getting the kill when it matters and being able to hop on into that time and make sure you either secure that spawns, get bumped out of the hill, push up that map, and they will spawn so far out. I think the big hill is going to be that P3. If you get a clean set of kills, you should literally be holding that for the entirety of the time, because you have such long lanes of sights that they're going to have to work through. If you have a trophy down, it's going to make it that much more difficult to break, which Cerberus does rely upon a lot. We'll just happen to see if that's going to be the case. Is Providence, though, any single one of these players can have those moments where it completely brings them back into the map, or just they shoot up and are able to steal it relatively quick. I don't think this map is going to be close. I think one team is going to have a dominating victory, and one's just going to get absolutely blown out.
Now, I think the opposite. I think that obviously there's going to be, a team that gets off to a really, really great start, getting that full team wipe, and they're just going to make the best out of that for the whole, I would say, first 3 hills. But obviously there is a chance between P3 and P4 and P5 to reset the tempo, and I think that's probably exactly what's going to happen. I think it's going to be probably a pretty close affair, but I still think it'll end in the hands of Cerberus. I did say 51-49%. I predict them to win. But yeah, I do believe we are going to be taking a little bit of a mid-set break. The players are going to be refilling on their energy drink of choice and going and taking their bathroom breaks. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back in the series. It's just starting to get interesting. Do not go anywhere. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Comica, joined by Graph the Giraffe. And in case you guys did miss the first 3 maps, we are still in here with Cerberus versus Providence, and we are about to go into an embassy. Me and Graph are talking a little bit about how we feel about this map, and Graph, we said our opinions. Let's just give a little bit of a recap. You said that you thought this map was going to be not very close. We're going to have a decisive victor.
I do think that, and like you said, it comes down to kills, and I'm using your words here. Now, methodology for the side of Cerberus is that they find a lot of those kills, but you're really relying on, I think, Crazy Views to have another big game, especially when it comes to the respawns, and not to mention Rispy. He still had a really good map 3. Unfortunately, when it came to anything else, it was a little bit wishy-washy. You're not necessarily sure which one you're going to get, but I think if Rispy and Crazy Views have a good game, this one could get interesting. I just still think the side of Cerberus, when it comes to more scrappy and kill heavy, they have that edge.
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, everything that we've done up until this point, we got a hotel. Cerberus picked it, won it. We had an embassy, search and destroy. Providence picked it and won it. And Cerberus picked Asilo, picked it and won it. Grand slam it out of the park. And now we're going to embassy. Based on that statistic of teams having a 100% win rate on maps they picked, you would think it would go the same way, but I'm not quite so certain.
And another player that you kind of got to take a look at, it's Andy. He has some of these great moments. He positions himself extremely well on the map. He's kind of one of those silent heroes for the side of Providence. He doesn't necessarily light up that kill feed as much as you would like to see, but he's making the correct plays, which makes the difference in a close series like this. And I expect him to go big when it comes to this map.
Yeah, he's sort of been the steady Eddie or steady Andy, I guess you could say. Silent workhorse for Providence. And Weiser has been a pretty good entry frag. There he goes again, proving exactly what I'm saying right before your very eyes. Going around the back along with a recipe and looking to flip out these spawns. Tovin's still trying to block them, keep them in his favor, but it's looking pretty bad to start things off. Providence getting exactly what they want, full team wipe. It's exactly what I was saying you gotta avoid when you're going onto this map.
You absolutely have to avoid it. And now I think number 3, Crazy, he's realizing which way he has to look. It's going to be number 8, and that's going to be a big gunfight. E2N going up against Crazy for these P2 spawns is nobody really getting anything. And oh, it will be the car exploding that gives Ethan that edge. So this will be a P2 rotation for the side of Cerberus, and they find that first kill. It's just a matter of being able to hold this one consistently. Do not allow the kills to go the way of Providence. And oh my goodness, on this backside heading, this man's almost impossible to take down as Ethan, he finds 3 in a row.
Yep, and Ethan, all he's got to do is just sit on that truck heady. It's been exploded already, I do believe, and so he knows these guys are going to keep on spawning there. He's going to be able to keep on beaming them, and so all Pures has to do is watch the other side. Actually, that appears that it was not the car that was exploded already, so he will take an early death, and now that opens up the floodgates for Respi. He's a little bit tagged up, a little bit weak, but the trophy system is going to be his killer today. Don't see that every so often, but Tovin still going to be on the objective. Hill falling neutral. And it looks like Providence are putting a little bit more stock and going to the next objective as they find Tovin in the middle of the map.
And talk about trophy for MVP. You see it, and it's so annoying, right? He would have been set up pretty well. Maybe got shot in the back by one of the players, but still, you never know if you had a chance. And the trophy, he will just end it. But Rispy, unfortunately gets caught with a nade in the head with a beatdown. Tovin goes big and then Stu with a nade. This is a full setup, and this is what we're talking about. You cannot let this one go to waste because you're going to have these long lanes of sight you can hold on to. But again, it's Weiser's. He has had some of these big moments for the side of Providence, and you're needing him again here.
Yeah, crazy views in that window once again is going to be spelling the death for him, unfortunately. Just getting shot at from too many different sides. This hill can be a little bit annoying to set up on if your opponents are coming from all these different angles. Like the Cerberus is doing a pretty good job of keeping it nice and ready though, but instantly as soon as I say that, Rispy going in and ripping it on away from them once again. Tovin up top, keeping it nice and contestable, but that trophy system should be guaranteeing Andy those last 20 seconds.
My goodness, and you thought Cerberus was going to have a good setup. They had 3 clean members down, but again, it was the submachine guns from Providence that is truly keeping them in this game. As now we're going to head over to the P4 administration, and it's going to really be a 50-50 fight for this one. Actually, it's Cerberus who's sitting on into the point, but guess who it is? It's Weiser's with the slide. He gets 2, and then, oh my goodness. Tovin, I mean, this guy, when he pops off, he pops off.
I know, right? Dude, how is he getting away with some of this stuff? It's crazy. He's getting multi-kills seemingly for free. And so Andy all alone does get a little bit enveloped, but Pures, at the end of the bloodbath, is going to be the one that survives. Providence are spawning close enough to where they can easily make it a bloodbath over and over again. It is the never-ending bloodbath hill, as I like to call it. It just never seems to stop with the fighting. Providence is getting a decent amount of the time here, though, and the bloodbath will be ending in their favor. Don't think that Cerberus is going to be chilling out too much for this, as P5 is such an important hill.
It is, and it's kind of interesting because usually you see Pures being the one slaying out for the side of Cerberus, but Tovin, he's taking over the game as Rispy. Is he going to be able to catch any? Yes, he will find one, but now it's going to be a straight 2v2. The hill will pop. It will actually be Cerberus taking control, and the trades are there as Tavern. He is 14-7. Nobody can shut him down in a 1v1, it seems like.
He's just a little bit untouchable right now and gets away once again. This guy knows when and when not to take a fight. Does unfortunately go down there for him, and the break will come in for Providence. Stacking the objective. This is an objective that you just want to be challenging straight on through to the very end, because literally it's a hop, skip, and a jump over to the next objective. So Cerberus, they're going to be very enticed to go for this hill all the way through to the end. But if they do get caught out, then they could be just as easily put into a horrible position going into this next objective. Pierce trying to avoid that, does at least take down Andy, but Rispy knows what's at stake. Crazy views as well going on in, getting everyone down, spawning on opposite ends of the map. And this is looking very favorable out of this first rotation for Providence.
Yeah, all in all, that was a great job on that P5. They found that basically second break to get at least 40 seconds on the board, and they'll find themselves up by about that 40, as now it's going to be Andy. Can he win this gunfight on the outside? No, it's Tavin. Ended up finding that player on the outside. Crazy views. He's expecting the aggression to come through. Oh my goodness. Again, it just feels like Wisers is hitting his true stride. He sits at 15 and 10, but on the other side, nobody necessarily slaying out besides Tavin, as Pures, he's 6 and 15. This is very uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah, it is, and you definitely can't be having that happen when you're supposed to be ending the game off. Ethan Too Nice fighting for the rotation, but again, another great spree coming in here for Providence. Another full team wipe at the very beginning of the rotation. It's very reminiscent of the last one, and Providence was able to get some good time, and we all know how the first rotation went. So with this repeating itself, I'm not feeling too good about it. Obviously, they're spawning completely and utterly way. Crazy views, all he has to do is just reposition on one of those exploded cars, and none of these Cerberus players will be able to do a damn thing. You see he's trying to do it right here, right now, but Stu has already beaten him to the angle. Gonna try and go in for the contest for it, assisted by his teammate, but a little bit too little too late. Not gonna be working out for him, and Ethan will be ripping Andy off as well.
And Providence has done such a phenomenal job at just keeping the side of Cerberus off, and I think Cerberus is weighing too much on the rotations, but goodness, Tovin, the man has beaten down 2 people. Give this man a baseball bat, because he is hitting heads and making them roll. But again, it is Providence getting on into the hill, so it feels like once they get set up, they've been able to lock it down.
Yeah, despite the great break early on from Cerberus, it hasn't yielded them any time, but great nade coming out from Stu, my friend. It takes down both Wisers and Respy, their entries, and so that should be spelling an end for Providence on this P2, giving a little bit of breathing room for Cerberus to go for this rotation. Their ARs are, ooh, bad nade throw there. But either way, a good nade throw there. Trophy system is going to be set up, however, for Providence, and they should be able to get a nice, easy setup. Even Respy watching the rotation, killing E2N off the long angle. That gives a lot of great breathing room and the potential for a great amount of hill time, maybe even a full 60.
And this is so good for the side of Providence, and this is what happened basically for the side of Cerberus. They got a few clean set of kills. Now it's the time for Providence to get all of this P3, and they are doing so very well. Tavin will find an opener with the grenade, but look who's hiding behind the door. It's going to be one in. Oh no, the break comes on through, and this is some major time that Cerberus desperately need, as Rispy, oh, he gets perfect timing, and oh, it will be the glide bomb getting the next, but still, it's Pierce sitting on the hill, one shot, not able to win it. Rispy immediately there on the return, but they strip away a little bit of time from Providence.
Yep, rotating early and often to this P4 and catching the people on the rotation as well. This is good for Cerberus. However, with all this time left, Providence will have an opportunity to make another counterattack. Time going into the wind does typically benefit Providence because they are closer to their victory condition than Cerberus. And so, Rispy gonna try and vault his way on in. Great mastery of the movement there from Rispy as they do go for this early break on P5. Sorry, P4. P4.
And E2N is putting himself in a good position as, oh my goodness, Tavin, he ends up getting 2, and those are some big kills as well. And only one player who's really in position, and that's Wise, but we know how deadly this man could be. As Andy coming on in with the support. Will they get any pinch? And they get some trades, and guess who it is? It's Andy trying to go big. He needs one more. Oh,
a knife.
Andy, what a kill that was, the turn and burn. And that is a big one. Can he go again? Oh, Andy, he is shutting down the side of Cerberus.
Yeah, showing his opponent why you should not bring a knife to a gunfight. And with that, Providence will go even further clear of Cerberus Esports. Trying to go for this rotation, but Cerberus are going to try and stabilize once again. The rotations are decent, but they've just been broken every single rotation so far, and so that does make me a little bit nervous. with a full 60 on this hill, they will be able to regain the lead, but who's to say they're able to get it? Providence have shown that they have a great knack for breaking Cerberus's setups.
And Crazy, he puts away the AR, pulls out the submachine gun, and I like this play. And guess what? Who other than Andy to find the opening kill? And Crazy should be there for the trades. The last player who left it, it's Tommen. Can he get another one? No, but it's been another beautiful, patient break coming on in for Providence.
Yep, it's the trademark Providence break onto the Cerberus hill. Trademark that one, but either way, Cerberus Esports, they do manage to regain it for the time being, and it's always worth to go for the last-minute chow on this objective because we can set the tempo on P1 nicely and early enough. Oh, Crazy winning a nasty gunfight, and now enabling his teammates coming from the other side. Tovin gonna get bamboozled as Crazy Views comes in for the third, taking another nice bit of hill time away from their opponents and an easy out onto P1 as well. Cerberus are reeling after that one.
And this has been so annoying. Providence, they just keep breaking at the last 20 seconds of scrap, and oh my goodness, what a drop shot that was. And then Crazy smacking the door into Pure's face, and now they're just going to capitalize on all this P1 time they can get. As Andy, he might get caught out, he absolutely will. Might get the call out to his teammate, but Tovin, he's still going big, and they are currently getting outslayed by quite a few kills. They still have it within 40 points. So Cerberus, you just need one good hold to find yourself back into this game.
Yeah, but the unfortunate thing is that Providence is in a position where they can just deny them that. All they have to do is play counter to what their opponents want to do, and they will eventually find themselves enough time to win this game. Pure is getting cut out now as well, unfortunately. E2N still here trying to be a little bit annoying. He's being a little bit more than annoying. He's taken down both those players. Crazy Views will get him right on back, though, and Cerberus will be far away. Another thing to consider here is that we are running out of time, only 20 seconds, so Providence, all they need to do is they have two ways of winning now. They can either win it themselves or they can let the time run out for themselves. All they're doing is just sitting here, waiting for their opponents to run into their gauntlet and just slaughtering them en masse. As soon as they enter this objective, Respi doing it again. 8 seconds ticking on away. The clock ticks away and down they go. Providence, they will have a chance to make Search and Destroy the difference maker.
Oh, and there it is all over. And I mean, when was the last time you saw a scoreline of 200 to 166, Kamika? That is just insane, and that might be one of the few times I've seen a hard point in this game come down to time.
Yeah, it's very rare that I do see this, and I honestly can't recall for you the last time I saw it. This just goes to show you how special Lord of the Lowtiers is as a competition. And so, we will be going into this Search and Destroy, literally the worst nightmare for Cerberus, unfortunately for them, but we will still give them a fighting chance going in here. Asilo, it was a very good map for them on this control, but that doesn't necessarily translate over. Obviously, they had great map control. Their methodology was great, but I'm a little bit worried here, Graf. I am still worried.
And worried indeed because, like you said, every single team has one of their map picking. Guess what? It is Cerberus's map coming on into the Asilo, and we have yet to get a round 11. I don't think anybody's had a round 11 so far today. We've had a few, I think, round 10s, round 9s, but yet to get the round 11 on a board, and something about us, Asilo coming up that you expect it to go all the way to the distance, and it's just a matter of who has the ice in the veins.
Yeah, and last time it was Providence. They got off to a pretty solid lead that Cerberus they had some great moments, but they weren't able to react in kind with what their opponents were doing. Whereas Providence would have moments where they would just completely blow their opponents out of the water in some of these rounds. But Cerberus's wins were a lot more close calls, and so Providence, that was a little bit of a difference maker for them, is that Providence, they would have little mistakes to fix, but Cerberus, when they lost a round, they lost it hard. And so going into this one, I'm looking at Crazy Views once again. I'm looking at Rispi to be getting these opening bloods. I'm looking at these guys checking every single one of their corners because that is a very big part of this map. There are so many different angles that you can get shot from.
And the biggest thing is you're looking at Pures to have a bounce back because he had a very difficult map 4 right there. That's typically not what you see out of him. And so coming into the Search and Destroy, taking over that A site, you got to bully people out. Atlanta FaZe is so good at doing this, right? They will just blitz on in with Simp and Abizi. They take over that A site control. So in these early engagements, I want to see those submachine guns fly on into that site and try to take over that positioning early and just get that bomb down, force the other team to have to get that retake. But like you said, crazy views. He didn't necessarily have the greatest of map twos, even though his teammates did pick up the slack. And if you are Cerberus, you are feeling a little bit nervous coming out into this map 5.
Yeah, I definitely would, considering this is exactly how they lost to the winners semis to Reactor, and they've only won a singular Search and Destroy all day. So that is definitely not good statistics for them. But I mean, there's never a bad time to start winning Search and Destroys, Graph, and they did come pretty close to the last one. It just does come down to a couple of things, like I said. It's going to be, are they going to be a little bit too predictable in their holds over on A? Are they going to be able to help the people that are stuck inside of the bomb site, basically like fish in a barrel, or are they going to be making that a strong spot for them instead of basically a death trap? Other thing is going to be outside of the map control. Are they just going to get rotated on, get killed off of B, easy plants like that? There are a lot of things you have to consider when coming into this map.
A lot of things to consider, and guess what? The momentum is over towards Providence because you know who they're looking at in the loser semis is Chaos, who they were the team that sent them down in the winners round 1. Providence have gone all the way from losers to this point, so they will have, this is currently their 4th series. They will have to play a 5th, 6th, and then a 7th if they make it to the grand finals. And that is just a long, long day of Call of Duty. You just have to think which team has ran out of gas, and right now it feels like Cerberus, they might be running on empty.
Yeah, again, I would absolutely love the storyline of Providence going back and having round 2 up against Chaos Esports, especially considering how good Chaos have been today. Only really losing to Imperial, who are just out of this world amazing. But if you look at any one of their other games that they've played so far, 3-0, 3-0. So, I mean, these guys, they came to play. They're awesome. And Providence, I think they finally got some reps in. They're probably not going to be falling for the same mistakes. They know generally how to fight these guys earlier. They've gotten a really good warm-up, if nothing else, in the form of Cerberus, if they are able to beat them in the Search and Destroy.
It's going to matter everything right here. The map 5, who has the grit, the determination, the willpower, the strategies, and it's going to be the Asilo Search and Destroy. And you couldn't ask for a better series at hand because it has just been back and forth, back and forth. And if you were Providence, all you needed to do in this series to get it to the map 5 was steal 1 respawn, and they did exactly that in the last one.
Yeah, and based on that, it should be open and shut, you would think, for Providence, but I'm not so entirely sure. That last Search and Destroy was still pretty close, and a lot of the difference makers were the fact that their opponents just completely and utterly out-intelled them. On this map, that is going to be incredibly important as well, and so you would be thinking that I would be giving that as another edge to Providence, but I would think that Cerberus probably, these guys are an insightful team. They're probably going to realize, all right, well, we're going to have to definitely do a little bit better on the stun checking, a little bit better on the nade throwing on this map. And yeah, I'm sure that this is something that Cerberus can correct. This is a very intel heavy map. And I mean, they've shown great, regards and great awareness in regards to what they want to do on the control. They were literally this close to losing, and they're like, all right, guys, all on the objective. They're of one mind. If they have a plan, they know how to execute it all as a team as well. And that can not be said for a lot of teams.
Yeah, it's just a matter of being able to make it click in these clutch moments. In the side of Cerberus, you've won 1 Search and Destroy, and guess what? It was, I think it was a map 2, and Providence, they have already gone to a map 5 in their previous series, so they are no slouch when it comes to these clutch situations. Is unfortunately we're having a little bit of a lull, and it looks like one of the players is using the restroom here real quick, and this gives us a chance to give a big shout out to our sponsors coming on out. As you can see him at the top of your screen, is it's going to be Scar Esports, Nobility Rising, Rally Esports, Underplayed, Arise GG, Galaxy Esports, and not to mention Cerberus Esports as well. Give a big shout out to those guys at W, because they're, they help promote this Lord of Lowtiers tournament, which everybody has a great time, and I know everybody's enjoying the venue as well.
And yeah, definitely give some love to these guys on all their socials. It's not every day that you have a team not only send a team to LAN, but also support the LAN as well. So big ups to these guys for doing that. Great parts of the community. Make sure, if nothing else today, you guys give them a follow. It's 100% free to do. And yeah, make sure you guys do that on your way out. But Other than that, Graph, I've got really nothing else to say. Bathroom breaks are in full effect for both these teams, and we will be right back after this break. I did say it was going to be a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, and I was not lying to you. Here we are back about less than a minute right in here in map number 5 between Cerberus and Providence, and I'm still joined by Graph the Giraffe.
I'm expecting a round 11, and this is what everybody in the chat is hoping for. And let us know who you are cheering for the side of Cerberus Esports and Providence, because remember, whoever loses, they go home empty-handed. And then the team that wins, they have the opportunity to go to the loser semis and face off against Chaos Esports, who has been hot, but Wisers, he will kick this one off with the first blood.
Oh, and E2N unfortunately unable to secure that kill. It looks like it's going to come back the other way, right back at him. Rispy almost trading out a third, but Pierce has been doing just as good as Rispy. As you can see, he's got 2 kills in a row. Tovin can be trying to rotate on over to him. And with that, they have a free bomb plant over on A. Their opponent's setting up for the retake.
And you know who's really impressed us? It's been Tovin, right? He stepped up in that map 4, even though they didn't get the win. He was slaying out as best as he could. And in particular, Andy as well on that P4 was absolutely incredible. And he's going to have the 1v1. This could be a good decider, and Andy gets the better of him. Now 1v2. Can you clutch up if you're Pures? This would be for the ace.
Oh my god, he went off the angle literally perfectly in time, and he gives it to Piers. And with that, he's looking for the ace to win. Time running out. Crazy Views has to find him or go for the defuse. He's playing well against him and does get away from him just in time. And the drop down for the ace. Let's get it, Piers. That's exactly what we were talking about. And he will be netting Cerberus a very clutch round number 1.
My goodness, and the ace to boot. Look at him make Crazy Views look silly, and that had to have been the perfect headshot multiplier because he was weak, maybe not too weak, but Pure's the ace in the round, and like you said, that was clutch for the side of Cerberus, and maybe that's just what you need as a player to go humongous if you want to steal the search.
Oh, my heart is pumping from that one, dude. I thought that Piers, as soon as he took some shots to the back, I thought he was a goner. But the turn and burn, that is a clip-worthy moment right there, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit the clip button for that one. But that does put Cerberus in a great lead. Tovin going to be taking an early exit to the graveyard, as now Providence do find themselves a man up on the attack.
Now make it 2 as Crazy also finds one, and Stu's getting a lot of information. He's not seeing anybody push through the middle, and so maybe the push to B is coming through. And look at number 2. That's Pure's all the way on the other side. And yeah, Stu, he gets all this information. This is going to be difficult. And he might try to throw that one right on in. And just lands a little bit short. And guess who? Crazy will take him down. A 1v4 Pure's. I mean, you clutched up last round, but unfortunately a little bit too much to ask in that situation.
I mean, if you can get an ace once, maybe you can get it again. Obviously, lightning does not tend to strike twice in the same spot. That is just a fact, Graph. But Pierce, in his mind, no opportunity not to go for it. Even if you can get 1 kill and then just jet on out of there, you're 1 kill closer to getting your streaks. He had 4 kills in a row. It was a chance worth taking, maybe catching 1 player lacking and then getting on out of there. But there was pretty much no chance he was going to be winning that round, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you got to realize when to take those challenges, right? Like you said, just find 1, get on 5 in a row, because you know how crucial a streak can be, especially on a map like this where there's so much open ground towards that field side, and it at least just gives you that information nonetheless. But unfortunately, that's hindsight, and Wisers again finds another first blood for Providence as they have all 3 starting this one out. Rispy as well as, they are just cruising But Tobin, he comes in, immediately goes down, and right now you can see it is the, you know, the communication, the comms, they are flowing for the side of Providence.
Yeah, they're just running them down. Gotta give them a reason not to run you down here, Cerberus. Otherwise, they're just gonna keep on doing it over and over and over again. It's gotten a pretty decent lead now by a margin of 1, and obviously they're gonna keep doing it until it fails. And so, Cerberus, they've done a good job of anticipating their opponent's aggression in the past and in the previous Search and Destroy and gotten some good kills for it. They just got to make sure they do the same now, because on this map, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult in order to properly stop your opponents from being aggressive on every single angle.
Yeah, and Wisers is one of those players you have to shut down because he's been reading all the gaps, and it's so difficult when you have to deal with a player that's, you know, very similar to Envoy, right? He just finds some of those gaps in the armor and he will shoot it and he will make you pay for it. But yeah, 2 players on Cerberus, Stu 0-3, and then Ethan 0-3 as well. And we're talking about the last map 5 that we saw for Cerberus was Stu ended up going 1-7. You cannot drop those types of numbers here, coming on in at the doorstep of death and potentially the end of the tournament.
Yeah, whoever loses this one, again, is out with no money. Pure's trying to get to safety. They know exactly where he is. Pinch out play coming on in. Easy as it gets for Providence and well executed as well. And so, Tovin, gonna try and rotate to where he can be of assistance to Stu. Both players having 1 kill between them. It'll be a tough one to go for this defuse, but Stu gonna try and make it happen, anticipating his play through the window. But they do manage to get him. Stu finding one onto Andy, and Tovin trying to find another one, maybe breaking out the door at an inopportune time. No, he's not gonna.
Oh, and not able
that
to
will
find
end
it.
in Providence winning that one as well. Just blitzing into the objective again. Cerberus, gotta give him a reason not to just go completely bouncing off the walls aggressive at him.
And right now, it's been just clinical for the side of Providence. It just feels like every single round is so easy. They find literally the first 2 kills almost every single round, and putting yourself in a 2v4, that's difficult enough. Stu does get off, but you have 2 players on the breadsticks. Ethan 0-4, but everybody pulling their own weight from Providence, and that's exactly what you want to see. And barring that ace from Pures, this could essentially be 4-0.
Yeah, it could very well be, especially with Rispy going on the outside of the map again for the millionth bajillionth time. As you can see, Cerberus are kind of ready for this. They're ready for them to just run right out at them. And there you go. Tobin seeing them run on away. Calling out coast is clear, but are they going to go for one more loop on him one more time? I think they might. Wiser's looking for him, trying to get in position, and there you go. Rispy one more time, hitting it, and Ethan, too nice, is not ready for it. Rispy still on their backside. They've got to be very cautious of this. They're still running forward like nothing's even happening. And sometimes that can be the thing that your opponent expects the least, and it works for Piers.
And he has the AR in hand, so very difficult situation. But look at number 1. Stu might be able to catch out that player. I think it was Crazy who's trying to work his way up the other side of the staircase. And yeah, he does. Stu spots him, and that's a great kill. And love the angles being covered from Cerberus here as they ended up finding it. But yeah, like you said, the bomb's all the way in the back, and Rispy might get a perfect one as Wisers is checking that A-bomb, and oh, it will be Pierce with the AR getting another one and pulls out the knife. Can he still somehow stay alive? But no, Rispy with 4, Rispy with 5, he gets the triple.
Unreal that Rispy does that. That's why I was gassing up in the beginning. You can see they're doing the same, justifiably so. Rispy running laps around these guys. Ace for Rispy now here as well as he gets his team another notch on their belt towards victory.
Yo, Ethan, you have 0
You
kills.
did everything right if you are Cerberus to come back into that round and get to the numbers advantage, but you cannot account for somebody just piecing you up like that. Rispy, he handed him the big L, and he says, hey, you guys made us look silly in that round 1. I'm going to return the favor.
Yep, it's like for like, ace for ace. But unfortunately, Cerberus, that was the only round that they were able to win, and it was with an ace. That's not a good statistic if you're only winning with aces, but Rispy looking to continue his spree. Takes down Tovin, and now he has a cruise missile as well, compounding the misery for Cerberus. If they ever look to go for a B play, they're going to have to answer to him, or maybe they're going to have to answer to him right now as he's calling it in.
Will we find any of the players as Wisers takes down E2N, who's currently 0-6, looking to join that agency? As we all know, there is an opening at the moment, but it's another 2v4, Stu and Pures. I mean, if there's one player that you do want alive, it will be Pures. And he tries to go hunting. Can he win it? And I'm kind of surprised he's pulled out the AR, and I feel like if he had a submachine gun, might have been able to take that one, but you have so much to clear out right now if you are the side of Cerberus's. I mean, Stu's just going to get taken down. Andy, now a 1v3. Good luck. Have fun, Piers.
Yeah, Piers knows exactly where Crazy's at. Crazy knows exactly where he's at. And with 25 seconds left, that's not going to be an easy thing to get done. And case in point right there, Providence are going to be finding themselves on the cusp of a rematch with Chaos. All they need is one more round.
And that's what they want to see. And a fun fact to bring to the table right now is there's been absolutely no first bloods going the way of Cerberus. All 6 have been in the favor of Providence as they are looking to close this one out. We said if Cerberus wants to win this series, they do not want to go to a map 5, and this is exactly the reason. And they are potentially looking to go 1-6 here. If they go down, they have to rip off 5 rounds straight. Kamika, do you think they even have it in them?
I don't know. I've seen it before on land, but not up against Providence. This would take some crazy doing. It would take Ethan to disregard his role in the next James Bond movie in order to do so as well. Easy plant coming out from Cerberus, but Providence have shown that they're very good at breaking their opponent's setups in every single map and mode so far. Now, I would not expect that to change now, although Andy does take an early death. Great early intel coming out from Crazy Views, trying to bend that nade around like Beckham at him, but can't quite get that one done. Pures waiting at the top of the stairs. Finds Crazy Views as well. Great start, sees one cross, trying to pre-fire, can't quite get it done. And Rispy trying to be the hero for his team once again to seal the deal, baiting them out, and baiting them in for Wisers, going on in, trying to go for this hot defuse, chasing them all around, but Rispy falls now as well. Time is running out, and Wisers is just gonna try and see what he can get. Maybe a knife kill for the spectacular, yes, ace for Wisers as well. It won't mean a victory, but it's still a nice little clip.
My goodness, are you kidding me right now? I mean, the confidence coming out of Providence is insane, and they almost got that comeback. It was a 2v4 with literally 20 seconds left. I mean, my goodness, and unfortunately, he got killed by that. Yeah, I did not realize he got killed by that bomb.
Bro.
But now, 1 round at a time. You finally get a first blood, so a golf clap, but on the other end, guess what? Guess who joined the James Bond role? It's Ethan, 0-7. My friend, you need to start picking up a kill. He needs, instead of being James Bond, he needs to start being John Wick.
Needs some Keanu Reeves vibes up in here as Respi going off the walls aggressive once again, gets stunned so they know that he's here. He sees him right on back, trying to make him a little bit uncomfortable in his position, tagging him on up, going right on in. Doesn't even matter that he's getting shot. Supplies the kill anyway. This guy is just on a whole nother level. Bomb plant going down now at A. Only 2 people left. Ethan Too Nice, aka James Bond, looking to make a play back in, but he's gonna get caught, try to go into the window as Tovin alone against the world. Can he get it done? Tovin with a chance.
I mean, it's a very slim chance, and this would be for the ace as well, a 1v3, and nobody's even on the site. They are just all hunkered around it, and so maybe a little bit of a small chance, but it just too small, and guess what? Cerberus Esports, they will go home in the losers quarterfinals as they are not able to pull off a map 5 search and destroy victory.
Yeah, the Providence are going to be continuing their losers bracket run, and they're from the beginning trying to be the 100 Thieves of the low tiers as they go in for this one last group huddle. GG's all around. Love the respect between these players, but there can be only one victor, and that is going to be Providence as they do get a chance at revenge.
And it's a big revenge because guess what? They got 3-0'd by Chaos in the winners round 1, and they have worked their way back to this rematch. And oh, nope, that is not Cerberus. They did not win that map 5. We'll get that swapped over here relatively quick. But Providence coming on in once again. Their search and destroy has been looking a lot better. They've won back-to-back map 5s in the losers bracket. Who knows the ceiling that this team can reach?
Well, I mean, Chaos knows. They sent them here. So we'll see if they can break through the ceiling or not. But, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we're going to be getting an interview in here in just a little bit. But until then, Graf, you got to see that Chaos game early on. What were some of the major takeaways from that?
From the side of Chaos, it was just, oh man, it's so difficult for the side of Providence. They came out a little bit slow, and then they just rode the momentum from that map 4 to map 5. And we all knew Cerberus they needed to win this in a 3-0 or a 3-1. They just needed to find a search and destroy, and they just were not able to do that. They struggled throughout the entire day, and eventually it came up to bite them. And you were hyping up the side of Providence with how much talent they have. I don't think it was a matter of talent. I think it was just a matter of they ran out of strategies. They did not have enough in their arsenal to be able to counter anybody when it came to search.
Yeah, I mean, Providence, they're just that good. You can have all the good strats in the world, but if you're getting spawn killed within the first 10 minutes by an opponent running you down, it's hard to execute the strats. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be seeing Providence move on once again. We do have main man Rispy in here himself, Mr. Ace.
Yes,
First of
sir.
all, congratulations on the W.
Or what? Thanks, bro.
Yeah, dude, I love that. But yeah,
for real, bro. It was all about finding the pacing, bro. That's it. We found it.
Yeah, so how can, for the people in the audience, how can people do stuff like that? How do they get aces? How do they shoot like you?
They got to be built like me, bro. See, those guys, they aren't built like me, bro. So I'm 1v3 in that every time. We're winning that, icing up every time. Team's great, bro. Found our pacing at the end, bro.
This guy's fucking goated. Fucking Rispy.
Let's go.
And feeling good as well, Rispy. And not to mention, you're going up against the team that came and took you down to the losers bracket. You're going up against Chaos. What do you have for, going up against that squad?
Yeah, they're something to look for. They beat us earlier. When we played them earlier, we didn't have like the pacing down. And I mean, I think we found that pacing now and ready to play them. Rematch. Ready for the rematch for sure.
I mean, yeah, you got the pacing for the ace, like you said earlier.
Well,
but yeah, so Rispy, a little bit more towards your background. I've been casting you for quite a while, so like.
Yeah, I think I remember you. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So what's sort of like some of your experience with the people on this team and sort of the enemy team? I know you've been playing since at least Modern Warfare in 2019.
What's like the history with them?
Yeah, history with them.
Lucho, I've been playing this guy since like Vanguard. He's really good. S&D players, I always play him in S&D. 2v2s, all that. Just really good players. They've been playing for a minute. It should be a good match.
Hey, you love to see it. Yeah, especially going on in against the side of Chaos. But Rispy, I appreciate you coming on in for the interview. And you guys still might have a long day ahead of you because I know not too many people got any rest or any sleep
just got started. Just got started. Let's go.
Hey, I love it. Yeah, good luck on the rest of the series.
Appreciate it.
Yep, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Words from Mr. Ace himself, Rispy. He's looking forward to the next match. He says that they're pretty good. So a lot of mutual respect between some of these players, something you don't see all the time in Call of Duty. But it's good sportsmanship to see their graph.
Absolutely. You love to see that because we all know how toxic Call of Duty players can be. So it's good to see a little bit of sportsmanship shot through every now and then.
But toxic, they're just honest.
They're blunt honesty, I suppose you could say that. But I love how he's shouting out Lucio because he came on in. He was the first person we interviewed today, and he was saying how good his team felt when it came to communication-wise. They were just in that flow state, and it's just a matter of can they keep it going now? They might have had a little bit of a break because they 3-0'd the side of retirement club probably around 20 or 30, 45 minutes ago, so they might not be warmed up. But everybody, don't go anywhere. We have the winners finals coming up right after this between Imperial and Reactor 9 Esports, so don't go anywhere.